Bunker Hill, Cherry Hill, Jackson Heights, Seaside Heights. Criminal, thug, banger, dropout, protege, mentor, role model. Decadence, turbulence, violence, confidence, persistence, excellence. Chaos, adventurous, happiness, status. Depressing, smuggling, addicting, motivating, electrifying, mesmerizing. Desperation, temptation, obsession, inspiration, evolution. Gloomy, robbery, tragedy, juicy, cheery, strategy, possibility, study. Rap, punk, rock, rock bottom. Sexual, sensual, hopeful, historical, magical. How all that? You'll see.
I want to welcome everyone today to another episode, another session of Biz Match, and we have an amazing guest to interview today. His name's Bill Montgomery. He is, for the last 20 years, has been motorsports marketing, and his passion is in the area of motivating high school students. His organization is called Prime Motivation, which he's been with for the last I don't know how many years. It's a lot of time. 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and or longer.
13.
13 for 13 years, and he is the International Business Development Director now. And now they're expanding out of America, going international, and he's overseeing that. Plus, still focusing on America, but I think they're expanding into the Philippines first, and then. You know, who knows? Who knows? The sky's the limit after that.
That's right.
So welcome, Bill. I really want to thank you so much for coming on board. And I just wanted to, first of all, just get a little knowledge about yourself. I'd like everybody who's listening to understand more about where you came from and how you got there, and who your mentors might have been, and who, you know, motivated you to achieve the success that you have now.
Well, thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you for having me on. Thank you, BizMatch and Henning, of course. And there's going to be a lot of thank yous along the way. But yeah, my name is Bill Montgomery, and I live here in Corona, California. I've been here for about 18 years. Before that, Orange County, and before that, I was in the military. So I was stationed at Fort Bragg. I was 82nd Airborne. Used to jump out of planes.
Wow.
And before that. Cincinnati, Ohio for many years growing up. My dad was in the military. I have 4 sisters. I'm the youngest and the only boy. And growing up, I played soccer as a team sport. Then I wrestled as an individual sport. And in the military, I bought a motorcycle, a Ninja, actually, when it first came out. And then I moved out to California. Got into cars and got into marketing, and so that's an opening, and we'll get more into it.
Yeah. So a question, I didn't realize that you had been in the military, the 82nd Airborne. That's a very famous group. Or I don't know what my knowledge of the military terms is not that great. But how has that influenced your life? That kind of structure and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, you're right. As far as the specialty, you know, you have the special forces, you got the Green Berets, you have the Rangers. You know, I never want to just be an average Joe regular. So when I went in, I was going in to kind of go for it. And you know, you have to be you have to be very physically fit to even you know go into the 82nd Airborne, because it's after basic training you go for additional. I think it's 3 weeks or something like that. But so it's an elite group, and I remember the Red Beret and the boots and Rambo and you know all that. And
yeah,
so I jumped into that, and it really it's just another type of structure, discipline, and teamwork, Jeffrey. I mean, I guess that's the biggest thing that's kind of helped me through my life is really to try and understand that, together everyone achieves more, and you can do better things with more people.
Absolutely. That's teamwork is really a foundation of what we look at, building teams, building, that tribe, your tribe, and how you do that. So let's next move into motorsports, and just what you're doing with that. And I know it's in the marketing area, and just explain more about that.
Basically in motorsports, after the motorcycle, that little Ninja, I say little, it was, one of the first crotch rockets at Black Arena.
Yeah.
Top Gun, if you can remember that he had the 900. I'd start with the 600, then I went up the ranks. And then I went home in 90, and me and my dad, we went to the auto show in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay.
And I saw that red little sports car. And I was like, man, wow, Dad, man, that is a nice car. It was an Acura NSX.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, when they first, so I told my dad, I said, Dad, I'm going to get that car. And he goes, son, he goes, hey, if you put your mind to it, you can do anything.
Yeah.
So I kind of had my mind set on that, and anyways, moved forward. Years after that, I actually moved out to California, and actually had a couple Marine buddies, Keith and Kevin Lewis. Hey, man, in fact, when you're watching, we got to try and connect up because it's been a long time. We were best friends, and so I'm trying to reach out to them. So things like this may connect us up. So we moved. They had an apartment in Buena Park, California. So I came out here and happened to get a job because a buddy of mine worked in Hollywood at a place I was telling you about earlier called the Palace. So he was like, hey, man, come out here. So I went out there, started as a bar back. Eventually moved to a bartender, but wow, what an experience. And even then, it was actually a team, I mean, it was a lot of components that go to the bar business, believe it or not. A lot of people may not know that, but, a team was there. And I started saving up some money to get my dream car, that Acura NSX. So a lot of cash was going in my pockets at, late nights, and, a lot of good tips and things like that. And I was saving. Then I started also working part-time at Circuit City as a installer. So I would install stairs during the day, and I would tend the bar at night. So I had two incomes coming in, saving. And then I got married to a lovely lady named Juliet Montgomery, and then she actually, I told her, hey, I want to get this car, my dream car, and she supported that. I think she even, with the last thousands, I'm not sure what it is, but we went into a dealership, Tustin Acura, actually. Purchased the Acura NSX. We got it used. I think it had 40,000 miles on it. We got a pretty good deal on it. I don't want to say that the amount like that, but we got the car, and I right away started fixing it up because you got to fix it up. You got to get the rims and the tires, things like that. And then I hooked up with this other guy named Dwayne, and we started a car club together called Club NSX, Dwayne Walker. And after that, we started gathering other NSX owners, and of course, building a team and a club. And it was very, very different because it's more of a higher end type of people with those cars, Yeah. And I think I was in my mid 30s. And you're dealing with doctors and lawyers and things like that, trying to get them to, and we had the whole the lifestyle, man. Listen, that name lifestyle wasn't even a term back when it was lifestyle. I can remember, just, going to clubs, and really kind of, showing out, showing our upgrades and things like that. And we're very team oriented though, as far as the uniforms, the jackets, the hats, obviously wearing a hat now, Canon, thank you. So I've always kind of been in the team mindset, the team mode. It could have been when I was in the military with the 82nd Airborne, that type of structure and that type of uniformity and everybody kind of being the same, dress right, dress, boots, everything that kind of carried into the motorsports. And so with Club NSX, we grew that, and we did that for about 3 years. We actually grew it. And we were like the national car club for Acura Honda. So Acura Honda, we kind of helped start that. And we'll go back to that, but now they have the new Acura NSX. I'm not sure if you've seen the car, but
I haven't seen the latest one.
Oh, it's phenomenal. And so now my goal is, because I sold my other one because of my two daughters, and I'll explain that more, but I don't have Acura NSX anymore. I want one. So let's just see, what happens with that, because it was actually one of the best cars I've ever owned, and I do miss it. I did a lot of things with it to help my business. And so motorsports started really when I got that Acura NSX.
Oh, right. I wanted to tell you too, with your K&N, I have a Jeep that I've done a lot of upgrades on, and I put in their very efficient, advanced air cleaner and air intake system, and it makes a big difference on your power and stuff.
Absolutely. It's a small world. Canon is one of those companies that it just seems like a lot of, people kind of touch that some kind of way. So it's an amazing brand. And the actual, his name is Steve Gibson, and he's helping Prime Motivation because he's a big educator. So great guy. He loves giving back. So Steve Gibson, thank you very much for your support, and I'll make sure I plug you every chance I get. Phenomenal guy.
So let's shift into Prime Motivation. That's I find a very exciting area. With all your team building background, the military, and then the clubs and everything. I'm just love to hear all about your theories and your goals in that area with high school students.
Yes, Jeffrey, absolutely, man. I get so passionate about talking about Prime Motivation. I mean, it's the greatest feeling. I think it's the greatest event, and I've done events, all over the world. And Prime Motivation is it, Jeffrey. I'm telling you, from the day I started down in LA Unified School District. I mean, we went to Snoop Doggy Dogg School. We've been to Compton, at Beverly Hills High School.
Yeah.
So, and it's phenomenal and a pleasure to be able to give back to the kids knowledge that they just don't have. They think they know, but the real world, because you only do so much in cell phones, right? Which we're going to get into a lot of that, how cell phones are just really conquering, our youth. And as adults and parents, we really need to not let that happen, because they're not adults, and the phone's not going to give them what we can give them or should give them. And our passion and our real life experience needs to be told to the kids right in front of them, and we need to allow them to ask questions and answer the questions that are real world, not just on a cell phone. Prime Motivation basically is a program where we focus on continued education. We want them to graduate, and we want them to be motivated to graduate, and we want them to understand that if they're not going to go to college, which, Jeffrey, the percentage is 68% and climbing. because the reason why the reason why they may not go to college is a few different reasons, Jeffrey.
Mm-hmm.
One, they can't afford it. Two, they don't want to do it. Three, they don't know where to go. So those are the three, and there could be a couple other that they don't have the aptitude to go. So you have some trade schools and trade careers that they're not pushing as much as they used to when we were growing up, Jeffrey. And this is one of the things that is really kind of bothering me in my heart and kind of upsetting me, that we don't have more people going there to show them there's these different career opportunities in different trade schools, would be automotive and things like that. So Prime Motivation addresses that. It's a 501c3 nonprofit organization. The teachers, they like us being on. We've had to quiet some critics because, it's kind of unknown, and they're like, okay, what are you guys doing? But we've been able to make a big dent in the Los Angeles area, San Diego, Orange County, Inland Empire. We do about 20 to 30 schools a year, and we want to expand nationwide in 2018. And I'm also about 50% or more trying to get to the Philippines, working with some key people there. And we'll go into some of those people once I stop talking, let you ask some questions.
Well, a couple of points jumped to my mind. I've always, today everybody is so on their phones, and the adults too, but the kids, when they get them, they're sort of addicted to them. And I can just see a bunch of 12-step programs just sprouting up to get kids off their phones, and maybe even classes on how you actually talk to people directly, face to face, because I think that's an art that's being lost. Who would have ever thought that would happen? But I think it's happening. And I was at the beach. I played a lot of beach volleyball, and a friend of mine brought down a remote controlled Jeep that was it's a professional kind of racing thing, and it'll do about 50 miles an hour on the sand. And we had it out there, and there's all these little kids who are like 8, 9, these little boys, and they're all sitting on their their phones and their tablets and stuff. And I went running over, and I says, hey, Vance has got his Jeep out here. Let's go watch it. And they all looked up and then back down. And then it was just back to their game.
Right.
And it was like a shock to me, because when I was like 10, if somebody would have had something like that, man, I couldn't pull myself away from it,
Right.
So, but it just showed me how intense that attraction is.
Yes.
To the tablets and to the phones and stuff like that, and people can't be without them, and it becomes, or it can become, an addiction. So one of the areas that you guys are kind of looking at, and then the other area that I was really excited about is opening high school students' minds to the options that are out there.
Sure.
Everybody knows about university, and there's lots of good things there, but the trade world, there's and the trade, and that takes you into business, different trade businesses and stuff like that. That's where, that's sort of the backbone of America. And I'm hoping we're not going to lose that completely. But so giving them that opportunity, there's some wonderful jobs out there that really give you a feeling of accomplishment that maybe aren't as promoted in society these days. I mean, we're so focused on the fame and fortune and all this kind of stuff, when behind everything is hardworking people doing, important jobs, but maybe not well known.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Let me expand on the cell phones.
Yeah.
The adults, the parents, they're now big kids. I mean, they're doing it just like, so I tell people that the kids are running this country, to be honest with you, because, the parents are so busy, working, trying to keep up with the kids where they're at. They have to use the cell phones and text them to find out where they're at. And if a kid wants something, And for all you potential sponsors out there, this is where the rubber meets the road. Sometimes they ask you, so what, the kids, that they're not a market. They're not going to, buy something that's $200-$300. I go, are you kidding me? Listen, Beats by Dre, for example. I mean, 50% of the people have those $3.99 price point Beats by Dre, and they're not buying them at the swap meet, Jeffrey. Okay, they're getting their parents every time they go to the mall. Mom, Dad, I want that, and they're getting it for them. Okay. Not only that, even if if a high school student, think about this. Okay, if a high school student is getting, fair grades, it could be a C or B's, okay? And they go home and tell their parents, Mom, Dad, I want that C, whatever the I-9, the phone at $500-$600, okay? The parents get it for them, okay? They get it for them because, it's almost like they feel like, okay, well, if I get this, the kid's gonna do good or whatever. So the kids have so much buying power these days. Okay. I don't care if it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I see it all day long on the campus. These kids are dressed better than us. They have $300-$400 gym shoes. Yeah. They have these. So when people say these kids, if they don't get it, their parents get it for them. Yeah. So not that I'm trying to promote, when you get on campus, you're going to make, a lot of sales. That's not it. But the fact of the matter is, if you get on campus, okay, and you expose these kids to your products, and these kids like your products, and you're a nice guy or lady to talk to them about your products, it's a good chance that the parents will somehow find where to get that and purchase it. But we want the sponsors to talk about what jobs that they have, in their facility, okay? If their products are made in the USA, versus China, all these things, if you do that, you do it consistently, you're going to make a big dent and you're going to change the kids' perception. That's what works. And when people think that it doesn't work, it really upsets me, because those are the naysayers, okay? The overthinkers. Those are the ones that we're calling out, Jeffrey, and we're using platforms like, is it BizMaker? BizMatch, right?
BizMatch, yeah.
We're using things like BizMatch to let people know what's going on, because this is real world, okay? This isn't something I'm making up. I encourage people to come on the high school campus and really see what happens, what goes on, and how you can impact and affect our future adults' lives, okay? Now, this also goes to our government, okay, including, Donald Trump, our president, okay? Prior motivation is definitely a solution. Now, I'm not going to say it's the answer, but I know it's a big solution of encouraging, motivating kids to do something. And if they're not going to go to college, we can explain to them why it's important for a trade school and where they can go to get the additional education for better jobs. So Donald Trump, if you're out there listening, okay, please go to www.primemotivation.com. You have some fantastic people, hardworking Americans that want to do the same as you. We want to work hard with the trades, not just the cell phones, okay, and help us help you. Help Prime Motivation. Let's get the government involved, Jeffrey. That's what we need to do, because, the government, okay, they're saying the same things that we're doing. It's just we're not making the connection. In BizMatch, they make that connection. So help us, Jeffrey.
We'll work on that.
Okay.
So in that whole area, as you're talking about it, I remember when I went to university and stuff. I grew up on a farm, and it was like the big reason to go to university was to get off the farm. So I didn't really know what I was going to do, but I got there, and I looked at like business as a possibility. I ended up going to political science because it sounded interesting. But business to me sounded like kind of boring. And now that I'm out in the world, I realize that business is everything.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter what you're making. It doesn't matter if you're making coat hangers. it's still business, and you have a product, and what the product is, maybe you're more interested in or less interested in, but the business part is how everybody makes money. And that, how you get that NSX, all those things, it's all through business. And I realize now, if I was going back, that I should have gone in that way. If I was going to go to university, get a degree in business, and then build from there. But I'm in business now.
Yeah, well, hey, listen, BizMatch. Okay, I mean, that great word by the way, because you're matching business to business, and I know you talked about, but it's the networking and relationships, more so now than ever, and that's a key thing. So and you have to sell yourself. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like selling myself. I want the work to speak for itself. But at the end of the day, Jeffrey, someone who's going to sell it for you. You have to tell people what you're doing.
Yeah.
And thank God for Henning to be able to, interview me to tell people, because you got to have a format to tell people what you're doing. And one of the things that I like doing, I like surrounding myself with good people. Okay, it's one thing I learned, that be around the good people, and 9 times out of 10 you're become a good person. Just like if it's in church, But I definitely want more people to know about Prime Motivation. It's the right thing to do, and we bring the automotive. We bring a couple of cool cars on the campus. And like you said, with that Jeep, this is the key on the school grounds. Okay, a lot of times we get them to where they're not necessarily allowed to be on their cell phone. So we get them, and we light it up, man. They think the cars are cool.
Now, Bill, we're kind of winding down to the end of our interview. And I always like to end with a pearl of wisdom, something that you want to reinforce, something new you haven't mentioned yet, that you'd like to leave our audience with, that could really help motivate them to bigger and better things.
Now, before I do that, can I just talk about it? Okay, there's quite a few people that have been helping me out as far as, you talk about team. Okay, we have Rodney Allen Rippey. He was a childhood actor before. He did a 14-year commercial with Jack in the Box. Okay, well, Rodney Allen Rippey, how you doing? He's our host for Prime Motivation. That's new for us this year. Mm-hmm. And some of the partners that's helping us out, like VP Racing Fuels. I'm wearing this shirt right here. Chris, how you doing? Canon Filters is helping us. Chariots, which is a technology partner. We have Powerall, Ultimate, phenomenal little battery charge. You can jumpstart your car, which is great for the high school students. Apply Car is helping with some transportation. We have a wax company, Waterless Wax, called 360 Brazilian Miss. It's a husband and wife combo. Becky and Robert, those guys have been great. They come out to the campus. They actually show people how it works. And if you might want to wash cars, so we bring a lot of potential businesses that people can get into with just using their hands, Jeffrey. That's the big thing. Kids don't use their hands anymore because nobody's showing them how to use their hands. Back to motivation, Jeffrey. Okay, we don't really need another curriculum. Okay, if the kids aren't motivated to do anything, they're not going to do anything. So it's clearly what Prime Motivation is. We're kind of like the Harlem Globetrotters. Okay, Harlem Globetrotters uses a basketball, but they go in the Fortune 500 companies and light them up and motivate them. And the CEOs and the directors, they may not even be into basketball, but they get motivated by what the Harlem Globetrotters do. So Prime Motivation is similar to that. We come on campus, we bring a couple cool cars, we bring other partners that have businesses that show them, look, if you want to do marketing, you want to do sales, you want to do customer service, you want to be a service mechanic, you want to be an engineer, all these different things in the automotive industry, it's so much that people just know, and even the teachers. So there's so much going on with Prime Motivation, a lot of excitement, a lot of good partners. We have some advisors that are helping us out. Dennis Johnson, he's one of them. He's actually a shop teacher that's been helping us with the school districts, getting them involved. Larry McLaughlin is running the high desert region, and we're going to be doing 9 of his locations. That's taken us 2 years to put together. But again, word of wisdom is don't give up, never give up on your passion. I want to leave that with you. I mean, yeah, I'm dying on my sword here, but I'm not giving up, because one kid, one student, okay, one day at a time. That's the way I look at it. Jeffrey, we're not guaranteed tomorrow. Every day above ground is a good day. And if I can just touch, a kid's life and give him that good direction, including my own kids, that would be a good day for me. And so I want to leave you guys with, please help us with these kids, because this technology is going the wrong way. We, like you said, with this, we need more screwdrivers. If I could leave you with this, if I can get more screwdrivers, Phillips and flatheads into the schools, that would be a plus, because we could change a lot of kids and a lot of parents' lives in a positive way. Us automotive people, we're pretty good people. You got Jay Leno, and just think of all the people that are car guys that are doing other things, but they can fall back on their passion with the automotive industry. Again, you can go on to Prime Motivation. There's a button, a donate button. We definitely need more financial support so we can go to more schools. We definitely want to go to the Philippines. Jeffrey, you want to go back to the Philippines. My wife's Filipino, okay, by the way. I have a lot of friends that are Filipino, and I've been to the Philippines quite a few times, and they are crazy about cars over there. So it's a great fit, but guess what? They don't have the tools, really, or the knowledge that we can give them, okay? Now, they still got the same issues with those cell phones. Believe me, that's a worldwide issue, okay? But if we can get to the Philippines, we also can help with, let me tell you what Prime Motivation can do, Jeffrey. Prime Motivation can actually help these two countries get along better. Because the Philippines and the U.S., there's kind of an issue there. But yeah, if it's education and we're helping the kids, Prime Motivation can help mend the two presidents, because everybody wants kids in high school to be able to get jobs and be able to do something better other than just the cell phones all day long. So I think we have a common goal, and I think BizMatch can help us with that. So thank you so much for this interview. I think it's been great. I know I've done most of the talking, but that's what I'm supposed to do when I get a chance.
Yes, absolutely. That is what you're supposed to do. And Bill, I just want to thank you so much for coming on, opening up our minds a little more. And as we spoke earlier, BizMatch is going to bring you together with our friend Jasmine Henderson, who also has an outreach to high schools, and see about the synergies that can come there. So that's very exciting, something that BizMatch has done. I want to thank you, and I want to thank everyone for listening to and watching our presentation today, and we will see you on the next session.
Thank you very much. I'll see you guys. Prime Motivation.
Okay.
Sugar Hill, Cherry Hill, Jackson Heights, Seaside Heights. Criminal, thug, banger, dropout, protege, mentor, role model. Decadence, turbulence, violence, confidence, persistence, excellence. Chaos, adventurous, happiness, status. Depressing, smuggling, addicting, motivating, electrifying, mesmerizing. Desperation, temptation, obsession, inspiration, evolution. Gloomy, robbery, tragedy, juicy, cheery, strategy, possibility, study, rap, punk, rock, rock bottom, sexual, sensual, hopeful, historical, magical. How all that? You'll see.